Hello. Today is my birthday. And I'm a bit anxious because birthday wishes scare me because they remind me of the things that I do not have. I think in a lot of ways, birthdays should be reinvented. Aside from wishes, birthdays should give us a chance to look back on roots, on our roots. The capacity to build better futures lies in our ability to look back and assess the things that we have done and the things that we could have done to overcome our limitations. Growing up, I wanted to be a lot of things. I wanted to be a doctor, I wanted to be a lawyer, I wanted to be a businessman. And would you believe at some point I wanted to be a bishop because of my brother's influence. But the strongest dream that stood out was to be a teacher, like ma'am. I wanted to be a teacher. During playtime, when I was a kid, I would gather all the children from the neighborhood. I would write on rough walls using pieces of chalk, pretending that we were in a classroom and that I was their teacher. That dream led me where I am today, teaching sociology, despite the conflicts that I needed to overcome. I was a gay man, born in a conservative family in an agricultural town in the Philippines, where the rules of the patriarch and the rules of the church are non-negotiable. You know, I was constantly reminded when I was a little boy how being gay is immoral, even by people that I love. One phrase strike me up to this day, ayusin mo kasi ang sarili mo. As if I was a car not roadworthy and in need of a mechanic. I did not know how to respond, so I sat quietly and cried privately. In high school, one teacher threatened to delist me from the honor roll because we saw me with two other gay best friends putting makeup on during an afternoon break. So I replied politely and said, "What's on my face will not lessen what's in my head."
You know, I would prefer microphone.
I defended myself because being delisted from the honor roll means no cash gift from friends and family, which would mean I would not have afforded to buy Whitney Houston's Greatest Hits Collection Classic, which is all I needed to complete my Divas collection at that time. You know, I cannot put Whitney Houston on the line. But these experiences shaped some lingering questions. How can I transcend norms designed to hate people like me? Or more specifically, how can I be a teacher in schools who hated my people? In college, I discovered two worlds. The first world that I discovered was the competitive sport of debating, which taught me the art of effective reasoning. And the second world is the world of the delimiting world of social sciences, which taught me to understand biographies, my own as well as others. Both rekindled my passion for teaching. I wanted to teach sociology. In 2012, I became a teacher. A year after that, I decided to pursue graduate studies in sociology to build an academic career. And now, my dream of an academic life is more possible. But looking back, my mother's fear was not due to my homosexuality. Her fear was due to the threatening reality that I could end up old, alone, and paying for sex and love. So I started telling her stories of my personal encounters, which eventually tamed her worries. I told her the story of a gay friend who's now living in Canada with his husband, and her reaction was this: "Anak, magpahanap ka din ng sayo, yung kano." She wanted me to marry a white guy, which I find colonialist, but a bit cute, you know. But I have to admit, I used to share my mother's fear. There were no role models of gay couples when I was growing up. In television shows and movies, they are portrayed as comic aberrations. In narrow esquinitas, in dark alleys, in the sleaziest clubs, they are reduced to shadows not worthy of lasting relationships. But, under whose blinding lights? In the freezing breeze of Baguio, I found, and my eyes were open to the possibility of gay love. But these openings were limited. In my gay dating accounts, I would receive random message from random strangers saying that I was ugly because I was fat, and that I could not find love with the way I look. Apparently, gay love is only good for those people or those gay men who fulfill what beauty is. I now understand that being a fat gay man from the province or in a third world country puts me in the fringes of the margins. Studies consistently point out how being fat puts gay bare men in the margins of the margins in an alpha male machismo gay culture. Bare men? People who look like me? Bearded, with a lot of hair, big guys. But in my case, there was another layer. Aside from being fat and being gay, I was a provincial lad trying to navigate the contours of the city. But through sociology, I now understand I am ugly not because I am fat. I am ugly because way before me, segments of society have decided that their idea of beauty is limited. I now also understand that to use romance as self-validation will only cause pain. Self-worth is a decision. You have to decide to be beautiful and worthy. So when I think of my roots, I think of social forces that made me hate myself. I think of popular images connoting that being fat and gay puts you in the fringes of the margins. I think of families who somehow find it acceptable to beat up their gay sons and gay daughters. I think of dogmas saying that I am an aberration of nature or that I was worse than an animal. I think of politicians all over the globe legislating policies conducive for hate crimes. But I also think of social forces of change. I think of my friends, two of them are here, and family who constantly remind me how beautiful I am in my gay, fat, and provincial ways. I think of families who wholeheartedly embrace their children without judgment, without reservation, without guilt. I think of mentors and colleagues who taught me how to comprehend, to analyze, and to sympathize. I think of advocates and activists sacrificing a lot to create better futures. So I ask everyone, regardless of ethnicity, nationality, geographical location, ability, body size, gender identity, or sexual orientation, to look back. Let us all reflect on our unique social and cultural conditions to find forces limiting our dreams. Because in those same reflections, we will find forces shaping our opportunities to become who we have always wanted to become. These are my birthday reflections. These are my roots. I wish you all well.